Let me just show you this quickly. So look, there are 3 versions of GeForce Now. This is a Reddit mega thread. So what we have is the free one, you only get 1 hour session. So I've seen a lot of people going, oh, it's crap, you can only play it for an hour. Well, it's free. What do you want? This costs them money. They're not making money from game sales, don't forget. They only make money from you paying to play the games via their cloud system. 1 hour up to 1080 60, and you don't pay a thing for that. Priority comes with RTX. You know what RTX is? It's ray tracing, it's super lighting, it's absolutely gorgeous. That one's fixed at 6 hours. Now, if you're playing for 6 hours, guys, honestly, without taking a break, you're going to lose the use of your legs. You've only got yourselves to blame. What can I tell you? The monthly cost, $9.99. 6 months, because you get a discount if you buy a 6 months subscription. So 6 months, let me zoom in as well, sorry. How rude of me. It's probably about as big as it gets, to be honest. 6 months, $50, okay? So you've saved, what, $10 by doing it that way. And quite honestly, 6 hours, it's not an issue. Restart after 6 hours. If you only have a 1080 monitor, or you tend to play on your Steam Deck, you can play GeForce Now on a Steam Deck, or some other device like the new Logitech or any other handheld, then 1080 may be all that you need. The 1080 difference between the free and the priority is significant, guys. You will notice a difference. Let me put it out there. And of course, with RTX, ray tracing and everything else, it makes all the difference. And then it goes up to the 3080. Now, this is the premium account. This is really for people that are serious about their gaming, because as you can see here, one, you get an extra couple of hours. I've got to be honest, I've had the 3080 for months, and I have never, ever, ever had it cut out on me, ever. It's never said, you've had your 8 hours, get out of here. And that's possibly because I've not played for a full 8 hours. It's also worth noting, with the free tier, you will go into a queue. So as well as only having an hour, you're going to get queued up for when there's a free available server for you to play on. And the problem really is, I think, is that, if you are trying it out, assessing it, and your experience is not as good graphically, you've got to go into a queuing system and you get kicked out over an hour, you're coming away without really getting the feel of the thing. So personally, I would prefer to give it, pay your $10 and give it a proper good go for a month. It's worth it. So 8 hours, and here's the amazing thing, up to 4K 60 or 1440, 1600 DPI at 120 frames per second on a PC or a Mac. So the 1600 relates and refers to MacBooks. You can play on your MacBook Pro up to 120 frames per second, or if you've got a PC with a PC monitor or a TV, 1440, which is amazing. 4K 60 with HDR as well. Now I've got to tell you, chaps, I have right here that I'm looking at right now a 4K monitor and a 1440 monitor, and I play most of my GeForce Now games on my television, which is a slightly older LG now. It's a C8, which is fixed at 4K 60. I play games on here. Sometimes I download them, and then sometimes I play them in the cloud on the 3080. I don't see a difference. They are butter smooth. I never get lag, I never get latency. The latency at the 3080 is better than that with your Xbox under the TV, which is mind-blowing. How the hell can that possibly be a thing? I don't see it, but they say it's the case. I've no reason to doubt them. And asterisks here because Founders is only available to existing Founders. So they had a Founders option where it was cheaper, but it doesn't really relate anymore. I had the Founders priority, so I was paying the $4.99 rate, and now I have the 3080. So very quickly, do I always have to wait in a queue in order to play on GeForce? No, queues are mostly only for the free tier. I've never ever come across a queue, even when I used to play on the priority tier, and I was happy with it, by the way. I never ever was in a queue. It's mainly the free one. There have only been rare exceptions where a paying member's had to wait in a queue in times of outages, a huge game launch, that kind of thing. What do the session lengths even mean? Session lengths are the amount of time, it's a fairly short page by the way. Session lengths are the amount of time that you can play a game till it's closed. You'll get a pop-up at 30, 15, 10 and 5 minute left at the top. I've never seen it, I've got to be honest. I know it's there, but I've never seen it. Where is GeForce Now supported? GeForce Now supported obviously in North America and Europe directly by NVIDIA. However, there are countries that are supported through local partners and have different pricing options than what's listed above. You can find a list of them on this piece. But for example, Brazil, I think, is one of those local partners. Australia and New Zealand they're doing really well. They've got something like 250,000 subscribers, and they pay some quite good prices as well. So check that out. Do I have to rebuy my games? No. To use GeForce Now, you log into your Steam, Ubisoft Connect, Epic Game Store, GOG, or any other existing store and play the games you already own. It's simple, it really is simple. Does GeForce Now offer a family plan? It doesn't, sadly. I know that's something that a lot of people have been saying. You can try using Steam family sharing to share games, but this only allows for one user at a time to be sharing that library. In fairness, with Stadia, I think you could only ever have one person playing a specific game at a time. So that's not hugely different. Will I ever be charged for the GeForce Now free membership? No, but you know, it is what it is. Can you record your games? Yes, you can. In order to open up the overlay, yeah, if you've got a PC, there's an overlay, and I think there is kind of with Shield, but it's not brilliant. Press Ctrl G and you get all sorts of options. What games are supported? There's a list. Thousands is the honest answer. Do I have to log in every time? Now, this is something I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it's rubbish because every time I go in, I have to log into Steam, I have to log into Ubisoft. They've really improved this now. I've never have to log into Steam again ever. I did it once, that was it. It connects you in the app. We'll have a quick look at that in a second. Occasionally with Ubisoft Plus I do, but that's usually only when it's a new game. And what you do with Ubisoft is you go to the Ubisoft Plus website, you click to play the game. It says, do you want me to download it? You go, no. And then when you go back into GeForce Now and you find the game and play it, it's connected. It knew that you'd asked to connect that game. It does it all behind the scenes. You're away. So, you know, I don't know if the problem people have been finding is with the free tier, and it may be that you have to reconnect with the free tier. I don't know. I just wish they'd do away with the free tier, honestly. I think it's not doing them any justices. Personally, what I'd rather see is that you can try out the other tiers. Maybe have a crack at 3080 for 14 days or something. Or, you know, for a week. Bit like Stadia used to do. You know, you could play premium for 30 days and then it would wind back to free unless you carried it on. I think that's the best way because people get to try out the quality version. And then they can downgrade to priority rather than the not so great free one, but you know, that's their decision. How often are games added? Well, as we know, they're added every Thursday, 8 a.m. Central. So certainly by about, I think, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, European time. Can I play 4K on the web browser with RTX 3080? No, you can only play up to 1440 120. Yeah, you can. I think you can only do 4K. I've got a feeling this has changed recently, by the way. This mega thread is probably quite old. I'm fairly certain, and there's guys in the chat who may know this more than I do, because of course I've not needed. We'll have a look in a minute. We'll have a look in a second because we should be able to turn it on. But I'm fairly certain you can do 4K now in the browser. Yeah. Thank you, Lee, for Lee CGD Sims, who is also a GeForce Now ambassador. Lee is around if you want to ask any questions about it, by the way. 4K is in the browser now, both PC and I believe also Mac, Lee, if it's capable. So there you go, that was that. So if we now switch back to the doopy-doopy-doopy-doo-doo gameplay screen with the slower stinger. So we're back here. I want to quickly show you fellas. So as you can see up in the top here, it says Rockstar, that's RTX 3080 account. So if we click on the menu and come to settings, I don't think I'm going to give anything away in here. I can quickly show you the settings. Now the key thing is, we were saying about being having to keep logging into Steam and Ubisoft and all the rest of it. Now you can see up here, but I've got here Ubisoft, Epic Games and Steam. They're all connected. Occasionally I'll come in and do a little resync, but there's not much need to. Actually tells me here, look, that I've got 37 Steam games in my GeForce NOW account. I don't have masses of Steam games because funnily enough, until maybe a year ago, I wasn't really into PC gaming. So you can choose where your server's based, in my case automatically chosen for the EU West. And then down here, you've got options you can do for your streaming quality. So you can do a balanced stream, adjust your streaming settings for a custom experience. A balanced will, kind of get the data down a bit for you, but give you the highest possible quality. You can do a data server. So if you're on a data cap plan, you can try and keep it right down. Competitive, which kind of throws the kitchen sink at it, maybe takes down some of the graphics but gives you really high frame rate. I always go for custom because I max it out. So max bitrate, you can choose custom. I'm quite happy to ping mine right up as far as it goes. Resolution, you get a few choices. So here's your 2560 1440, but we've got 4K chosen here. That's what we're going to see in the browser. Then it comes down 1080, 1600, 900 and so on. So, depending what you got, you can have it force VSync all the time, which I do. And you can even have it adjust for poor network conditions if you are in a situation where for some reason it drops. And it will just automatically shrink it all down on the fly. So it's pretty cool. You've also got one of the great reasons, the bonuses with these guys having their own cards, but they have this AI enhanced option as well. So they will, in the background, they do a lot of calculations and algorithms, and they kind of boost the look of what you're getting. So if you went, for example, for the 1080 option or the 1440 option, you can use the AI enhanced to give you almost visually a 4K look. It just sharpens everything and makes it look really cool. In-game graphics settings, I turn this on, just make sure that every time you go back in, it keeps the same settings as the last time and kind of gives you a good experience. There's a few other little bits and bobs over here. Clipboard, so you can cut and paste between, if you had a password, for example, for Steam, and you've got it in a notepad file or LastPass or Bitwarden or whatever, you can copy it from there, go into the game and paste it. So it's really clever. It remembers the clipboard thing. But that's essentially the settings. You can also save pictures, the same as you used to be able to do with Stadia. So at any one point you can share these pictures with folk, have a look at them and stuff, do all your things. So you've got all that as well, and it can be videos as well as pictures, I believe. Well, this is all done by accident because I don't really do that stuff. And then of course your games. Now the app that you will be using on your television and smart devices is slightly different. They have a bar down the left hand side with kind of game genres and settings and things, whereas obviously this app doesn't have that. But what you do have, and let me just move my big head out of the way, let me put me over there a second. So you can see here there's links to my library. It's not a sideways scroller like your Stadia was. I'll show you in a second. You just click to go inside. So they have my library, that's all my games. They have the games featured on GFN Thursday, which is the blog with all the new games. So these are games they announced last Thursday that you can play. They've got an electronic arts section. They've got free demos, by the way, that you can play, instant play. So you can just log in and play any of those guys. You don't have to claim them or anything. All your free to plays, and you've literally got Fortnite, Genshin, Destiny, they're all in there. Games that specifically have RTX on, I own Steel Rising, so I'll show you that in a second. Featured games, and then some special offers as well. There's other things, Indie Spotlight, and then you've got all your other stuff down here, all your genres and so on. So if, for example, we click on See All in my library, then you see we're now into a more familiar kind of grid layout that you can select all the games, any game that you want to play. And I've got 155 in my library out of their 1,427. I'll quickly show you Steel Rising. I should be able to fire this up. And this is just quickly shows you, so no mess. I haven't had to log back into Steam to play this. It's telling me that RTX is on. Let me just make sure I've got a controller here. This one plays with controller. I don't tend to bother too much with keyboard games, simply because I'd have to come in here and play them, and I love playing my stuff on my TV. Let me just grab me and pull me back over here. Whoops, didn't need to do that. There he is. Where's that fella? There he is. Pop him over there. Okay. I don't think I have sound on, which is fine. But let's go. Let me pick this up. Oh, I can't. Rokk, you're always in the way. I hope you're finding this interesting, because I know a few of you have never seen this. This music's lovely, by the way, but I'm glad I haven't got it on, because I'll get snapped for it, I'm sure. Right. Steel Rising is a great game, by the way. But if I take you to the options, bearing in mind we're playing this in a browser on my system, okay? So I want to show you the display. So this one says, whoops, where are we? 1440. Oops. But I should be able to go to 4K. There we go. That's 4K, 60 Hertz, and we'll save and quit. So this is literally 4K. And the great thing as well is, because you're playing PC games, you've got all that additional stuff that you don't get in consoles and Stadia, where you can beef up beef up the textures and things. So I always love to go ultra. And do you know what? I get away with it most of the time with GeForce Now. The only game that's ever given me, I've had to play with it a bit, has been Resident Evil Village. But in the main, it looks amazing. Right, so let's get back to the game. Continue the game. Right, okay. So here she is. You are an automata, a mechanical robot, and your job is to run around. Now, bearing in mind, I'm streaming this at 1440, guys, but I can promise you it is 4K. Been there already, went there yesterday. So your job is to go around and destroy robots. There's a long kind of French Revolution story that's all part and parcel of the game. But you can see there's no lag, there's no latency. I may as well be streaming this from a PC. Obi, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Crow's in the house. And you saw how quick it was. There was no messing about with PC settings or having to log into Steam and all the other stuff that you've heard. There was no queue. It wasn't telling me that I've only got so many hours. I love it. Absolutely love it. Here's a dude. We'll have a go at him. Here we go. So what you do in this game, if you ever get it, is you have to focus on. If you don't focus on the enemy, which I've just done with that diamond, you can do. You end up shooting stuff that you didn't mean to shoot, and then they get the better of you. But look at the graphics on this. The detail. It's stunning. If I go back here, I can shoot him with my blunderbuss. Where is he? Here he goes. That's one down. There's another one here. And when they die, like that, you pick up their essence, and that gives you stuff. But look at this. Let's go and have a look at the character. Here she is. You can try out all these different uniforms and outfits. All of them are configurable, and you can upgrade everything. Here's the map around Paris. So just a wonderful game. Ray, you'd love this game, my friend. This has got you all over it, this one. Really has. And also these amazing weapons. They're all completely unique. and they're all upgradable as well. They all do different stuff, they've all got different stats. I don't know how many hours of this game I've played so far. Let's go to statistics and have a look. I've played it for quite some time. Yeah, I can't see it in here, unless it's hidden down there. No, can't. I thought it told you. Great looking game. Right, guys, we're getting to the top of the hour, where I like to hand off to William. I think he's streaming today. Young Simply Pawned Gaming, as we now know him. Yeah, Ray, definitely one for you, mate. It should be dropping in price soon as well. I don't think it was very expensive though. It's about $25, $30. But yeah, you run around Paris and different places. It's got some really unique gameplay mechanics as well. And if you play it at the kind of developer level, it's quite roguelike and very, very hard. I had to tone it down to play it. But there you go. Right. Let's just come out and takes you back to the interface so you're not left hanging. And there we go. Straight away, within seconds, we're back in to GeForce Now. We can choose another game.